Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I hit level 275. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to everybody who's been following my channel so far and just been supportive of all my content. This series has gone a lot further than I had expected. I really didn't think that I'd be able to push the content further than Hard Lotus. When I started this progression in Hyperion, I genuinely thought that I would get to Hard Lotus solo and then start breaking off into party content. But I kind of just got the taste of doing things solo and min clearing these bosses, and what started off with going to Hard Lotus and then moving on to further content, Hard Lucid, Hard Will, Chaos Tenebrous. Now I'm at the doorstep of Black Mage. I really can't believe that I made it here, and it wouldn't have been possible without your guys' support, so I thank you guys a lot for just being here along the way and basically cheering me on, whether it be in my comments on the videos or on my streams. That being said, it has been about a week or so, maybe longer, since I've made an update on my Battle Mage, and as you guys can see, I'm currently in Shangri-La. We did manage to hit 275, and on stream we did a lot of training actually to get here. It was a lot of hours, and I appreciate you guys keeping me company. We eventually got here, and yeah, just being able to hit this level milestone is so good. It's a gain across a lot of different areas, and I'll talk about that in a bit. For those who don't know, the reason why we are so adamant on trying to get 275 is because Black Mage, who is our final boss that we're going to try to take on, is going to be a level 275 boss across 2 out of the 4 phases, effectively meaning that I don't lose any damage anymore in Black Mage. The next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the things that happened on stream. Over the last week or so, we've done so many different things on stream, whether it be Black Mage practices or whatnot, but I wanted to start off with talking about some of the drops that we got along the way. There's no way, guys. Did that just happen? On stream? Number 4? Holy shit. I literally had a heart attack. Hey, we got the tier up. Neat. I have some spare cubes here as well. Triple prime drop Mesa, if that happened. Oh my god! That was so free. I can't believe what I just witnessed. That was so free. What the hell? So yeah, those were some of the interesting drops that I got on stream the other day, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about those. The first thing I really wanted to talk about was actually the black heart. If you guys have been following my channel, you will know that I have quite a lot of these black hearts in my storage, and I got the 4th one on stream. I did have a bit of an issue with whether or not I wanted to pop a black heart, because I felt that the black heart was such a powerful item. I didn't want it to take away from my Black Mage clear. It does give a lot of stat. It gives you 50 stat, 77 attack, 30 boss, and 30 IED. It's an insane amount of damage. I didn't want to make it look like I cheated damage for my Black Mage run, but what my chat ended up convincing me was that this is no different from if I got lucky and hit really strong bossing fams, or if I'd got a Ring of Restraint 4. Parts of the game are just luck, and it makes the most sense that because I am playing solo and I did get these black hearts fair and square from the bosses, I might as well use it to make my Black Mage clear a lot easier. And that's how I sort of convinced myself that it was okay to use a black heart, and I shouldn't be ashamed of just using the drops and the good luck that I got on this account. And of course you guys saw the second part, which was I got this magic eye patch. This eye patch was a complete shock to me. I didn't expect to get anything like this. And my first instinct when I saw this eye patch drop was that I didn't even think I could use the eye patch, because my original item, which was the black bean mark, is at 20. I didn't know if the attack value was going to be a big enough difference, but what ended up happening, as you guys saw on stream, was I did accidentally hit 3 lines of int on the potential super quickly, and I gave it some flames and I ended up on a 76% flame, which is a really nice flame, very high for what I expected and how much I put into it. So I'm very happy with this, and combining this with the heart as well made it a lot better than my black bean mark. It does give us the 2 set bonus, giving us 10% boss damage, 10 attack, and 10 all stat. So basically, even though it is a 17 star item, it does beat out the black bean mark because of the set bonus, and also because I got lucky on the 3 line potential. With those 2 gains, I actually ran into Black Mage and did a real run. I did my first real run without the eye patch actually, and we wanted to see how much damage we could do with all the buffs that we could get, guild skills and everything. I think the run went pretty well. I did lose a few extra lives in P1 that I could have avoided, but that was on me. I thought that I could avoid some mechanics, but I ended up getting hit by one of the knights when I thought I could have dodged it, making me lose 1 or 2 lives in P1. But it ended up alright, and we went into P2 with a good amount of lives. And this is where I guess a lot of the practice kind of went in, and I had to learn how to do P2 a lot better. Because I spent so much time getting stuck in phase 1, I didn't get put into the position in P2 where I had to avoid a lot of different mechanics at the same time, and I ended up having to learn a lot of things on the fly, which ended up costing me a lot of lives before I made it into P3. Overall though, I was really happy that we got a lot of practice in for P1, and also in P2, giving me the confidence to run more practices on stream. So we ended up doing a bunch of practices. I think we did like maybe 10 all up. And we started getting more comfortable in P1 to be able to get into P2, maybe even without guild skills, which is really good. So when the next cycle of guild skills came around, that's when I got the eye patch from Damien. So we were going to do another run with everything set up and also have the extra damage that we got from the eye patch. The second real run that I did went so poorly. I went into P1 and I missed the bind. And unlike the other runs, this is a real run, so I couldn't just leave. If I left, then I just spent 50 sparks on a key for no reason. So the phase 1 started off really bad. If you miss this bind and you miss a lot of your damage, phase 1 is just really difficult. But what ended up happening was I ended up just staying inside the boss, and I managed to stay inside for up to 3 bursts. I got out of P1 on my second origin, which is something I didn't know I could even do, I'll be honest. Once I got out of P1, I was really surprised that I was actually still in the boss. So we used it to kind of just get more practice in on P2, and this is where I guess all the practice really showed. I didn't have any issues dodging a lot of the mechanics. I got really familiar with how the patterns worked with my class, and just putting myself into situations that I usually don't get into, especially when you're playing Black Mage solo. In this run, I also managed to get into phase 3. And it was probably the longest I stayed in phase 3, just getting used to the boss, and it really showed how little practice I had. Phase 3 is a lot more difficult than I had originally expected. I kind of expected myself to be more familiar with the boss, given that I have already soloed Black Mage on a different class. But because I am playing on a Battle Mage and it's not the same class that I soloed it with originally, I did have to teach myself to learn the timings of the kick and trying to learn how to play and move around the boss. In the end, I did end up dying out in phase 3 without getting too much practice in, but it was the best attempt that we've had so far. Since those runs, I decided that I didn't actually have the damage and the run was a little bit too ambitious. And in all honesty, I spent a good amount of time just being sad and sulking about the run that I felt like I should have cleared. I really thought that on stream, those 2 runs that we did, I had the capability to clear. But after talking to some more friends and just analyzing the runs a little bit more, I thought that the run was way too ambitious, and I had way too close of damage to be able to clear the entire boss. On top of that as well, at the time I wanted to get the clear within May, and obviously at the time of this video, it is definitely in June, so we didn't actually get the clear in May, and I think that's for the better. I gave myself too little time to practice and put too much pressure on myself to try to get that clear before the end of the month. But now that I look back at the run, it probably wasn't clearable with the mindset that I had going into the boss. And now that I've kind of taken it easy and decided to make the most out of as many resources as I can, especially with my level up to 275, I have given myself a better chance at clearing the boss. So what my plan is at the moment is trying to keep up with my dailies as much as I can, so that I can fill out the maple orb a little bit further. We have a few more days in this event. I should be able to get a little bit more into boss damage and perhaps a little bit more into IED as well to give us just that little bit extra damage in Black Mage. And on top of that, we do have a 5, 10, 15 coming up this Sunday. I have a lot of items still that can be pushed. I have a Slime Ring at 17, a Dom Pen at 17, a Twilight Mark at 17, and all of my Arcanes also at 17. That's a lot of potential gains that I could have. Even if I can get just all of them to 18, or perhaps maybe a few 19s here and there, I should be in a pretty good spot in terms of my damage. And on top of that, I do have a good amount of money saved up, thanks to all the training that I did on stream. So those are my plans so far. If we get really lucky on top of all that, we could even see ourselves getting a better ring than the Weapon Jump 3. I think if we manage to get a Ring of Restraint 3 or 4, it would be a massive gain over this Weapon Jump. Or even seeing perhaps a continuous Ring 3, which will help us with the later phases in the boss. Until then though, I think I'll be spending a lot of time just trying to get some practice in. Now that I'm 275, I can pretty much just keep running into the boss. Ideally, I'll be able to get into Phase 3 every single time, just so then I can work on my Phase 3. I'm not too fussed about Phase 4, but there is a bit of an issue with damage in Phase 4 and see if I can get used to it. Something that I have to also teach myself inside the boss is to learn how to rebuff during the fight. So what I've decided is I have this combo key which allows me to see all the buffs in my inventory, and then I'll have to go through and use all of them once I get to the certain phases of the fight. Because of how long the fight is, I actually can't go into the fight with my guild skills. The guild skills last only half an hour, and they have an hour cooldown. But if I enter the fight at the beginning of P1 with my guild skills, they will run out by the time I get to Phase 3 and Phase 4, and I won't have enough damage to actually clear the fight. So what I'm going to have to do is either get strong enough to clear Phase 1 without guild skills and then use them at the beginning of Phase 3, or I can start off the fight with guild skills, having only about 5 to 10 minutes left on them, enter into P1 so then I can get the guild skills in Phase 1, and then they will time out during Phase 2, which is a safer phase out of the fight, and I can slowly get into Phase 3, and then later in the fight, I'll be able to use them again. I think that's something I have to get used to, and of course, getting used to actually using this combo key and then trying to find safe times to rebuff pots. The most important ones are, of course, these Monster Park ones, in particular the green pot. The green pot gives us a lot of attack speed, which is really important for our class, and when we do use these potions in the middle of the fight, it will put our actual healing on cooldown, and I have to play a little bit careful. And that's something that actually happened on stream where I had to rebuff myself and I just wasn't sure how to do it. Thankfully though, they did give us this combo key so that I can easily see and buff myself if needed. So those are my thoughts about Black Mage and all the things that I've done leading up to this point so far. I think that'll be it for this video. I know it's going to be a short one compared to others because I'm going to be spending a lot more time on stream and just practicing Black Mage. And most likely the next video I release regarding my Hyperion series will be the Black Mage clear. So if you guys want to catch my streams, consider subscribing to the channel to be notified. Thank you guys again for supporting my channel. I couldn't have gotten this far in this journey without you guys. And yeah, just thank you so much for all your support. Take care guys, and I'll see you all in the next stream or video.